Hello and welcome back to LFC News. In today's video, we have some worrying Alexander Isak news, which we're going to go over in today's video. Now, Alexander Isak has really not hit the ground running at Liverpool, and things seem to have just gotten worse for the Swedish striker. We will look into this today, and we'll also go over some of the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. But before we do, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. So let's get into our first story today, and it's to do with Arne Slot. Now, he's actually been very transparent on why things are not going well this season. Now, obviously, last season we ran away with the league, really, in Arne Slot's first season. And everyone was hailing this guy as, the next big thing, and it's like the perfect replacement for Jurgen Klopp. But things really haven't taken off this season, and it didn't really make any sense. We've just spent 450 million on some of the best players in the world, and very few of them actually managing to find the form they had at their previous clubs. The ones at the top of my head I can really think of is honestly just Ekitike, just off the top of my head. But yeah, things really have not gone well, especially for this rebuild. And Arne Slot has actually been very transparent on why it's taken longer than expected to really get things going at Liverpool. Now, realistically, we didn't need much rebuilding. Like, he did what he needed to do with the squad, but he saw some holes and he wanted to fix them, and the board really backed him, and it's really backfired. Now, Arne Slot has been is a very closed off individual. He doesn't give much away in interviews. He's very, very media trained, you could say, where he doesn't really speak his mind. He just says throwaway answers. He doesn't give much away, which there's nothing wrong with, but fans have been getting really frustrated with Arne Slot. So we're going to have a look at what Arne Slot has had to say. So I've been too positive, admitted Arne Slot, which already is crazy. Arne Slot taking accountability for something is a very, very positive step forward. He admitted as he reflected on a major Liverpool rebuild that is only now getting closer and closer to the team I want. The head coach believes he set the bar too high after a summer that saw 8 additions to his Liverpool squad, along with 5 high-profile departures, but also noted set-piece vulnerability, almost all the losses we've had. Yes, that is very true. We've been awful from set-pieces, both in an attacking sense and a defensive sense. Refereeing decisions, we've been very unlucky. This I have a problem with. In the age of VAR, although it's not perfect by any means, it gets stuff wrong. We cannot blame refereeing decisions. You've really got to. It's hard sometimes, to not be biased. But all 20 teams in the Premier League will use the same referees. Is there going to be some bias? Potentially, right? But we don't know that for certain. So yeah, I disagree with refereeing decisions. Every club has decisions against them. Every club has decisions for them. Some games, teams will lose because of a referee's decision, and some games teams will win because of a referee's decision. If you look across all 38 games in a season, I don't think refereeing decisions really, especially in 2025, going into 2026, really can affect the table that much. But feel free to disagree with me in the comments, but I just think that's a very throwaway answer. And the Premier League intensity, sometimes he can play, then sometimes he cannot play. Again, he's had a year to sort of get used to the intensity of the Premier League. He should have taken that into account when he signed the players he did. But Arne Slot says, I think we're getting closer and closer to the team I want us to be. That has gone with ups and downs. Let's be completely clear about that. But for me, that makes complete sense because of all the changes we made in the summer. We made them on purpose because we thought we needed to. If I'm completely honest, maybe I didn't expect it to take as long as it did. But looking back and reflecting on it now, I've been too positive. If you go with a new group or not all of them are completely ready for a single game, 90 minutes is in this intensity, you have to adapt. I can kind of give it to him where it's like last season we were very fortunate when it came to injuries. We didn't really suffer from any major injuries, whereas this season we have suffered from quite a lot of injuries. So I can give him that. Sometimes he complain. Oh, we've already read that. Sorry. And he won't accept bad luck as an excuse. We've been unlucky with refereeing decisions. Even Saturday, when I said afterwards that the referee was completely neutral and missed out on a red card. So another influential decision, but this time it didn't hurt us, and we have to go with our situation. In a refereeing decision goes against us, it doesn't matter. We're still good enough to win. If we okay, that's a good positive attitude, and I do like that from Arne Slot. So overall, this is a pretty positive press conference from the Dutch manager, and it shows a new attitude really from him. Sorry about that. It shows a new attitude from him, and I do like to see that, and it's very positive going forward into the rest of the season. Now, we do have some worrying Alexander Isak news to get into, and this is coming from Alexander Isak himself, so I'll get this up now for you. So Alexander Isak breaks silence on Liverpool form. I don't really have an answer. We're going to have a quick read of this. So obviously, Isak, things have not gone well for him this season. He really has not hit the ground running like we thought he would at Liverpool. And what has Isak had to say? Liverpool's interest was the most interesting thing for me, Isak said. I felt quite early on, this is where I wanted to go. An overall picture of the club's history, okay. So he wanted the move. I don't really have an answer to why it has been slow. The team, of course, has been slow, but that's how football is. There are always teams that fly, and it's always teams that go slower. It's important for us to turn it around. And for my part too, it's not the first time in my career that I've gone through a period like this, or I'm in bad shape. That's how football career works. It's something you have to fight your way out of. Isak added, I don't know what period has been toughest so far. I wouldn't pick any one. It's all an experience, good or bad. Okay. I can agree with Isak here, actually. I want to say it was last season. It might have been the season before. He had a really slow start to a season, and then he picked it up, and he was one of the best players in the league towards the end of the season. And let's just hope that happens. I believe it was last season, but I'm not 100% sure. There was talk of Isak leaving Newcastle, and fans were demanding like £100 million. And I was looking at it, and I was like, this guy's been terrible this season. Like, what? How are you justifying that price? But then he really turned it around. And now, obviously, he's got his big move to Liverpool, and things aren't going well. And I think we give him until like January, February time to really pick it up. It might even take a full season. But if we can save our season and he can come back next season and really show us why he's worth the money he is, then fair enough. But if we really mess up this season, we don't get anything out of it, and then next season he's just as bad, it's going to be like, oh, we've made a mistake here. But luckily we do have Ekitike, who I mentioned has been phenomenal, and I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, that's some worrying Isak news that not even he knows why things aren't going right. But let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to read them. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.